I was reading the newspaper and I was so engrossed in the story, I forgot to get off at the 3 stop. And I was only 1 stop off. They got
And you
caught.
have a ticket?
No, I was gonna ride for free. I just got off of work too. It was a free square. Give me a break. It was 1 off. I was like, I was reading the paper.
I'm pretty sure they took out the TriMet police.
Yeah.
That was part of the budget cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that kind of stuff is so silly, you know? Like,
$250.
public transportation, first of all, the ticket shouldn't be that expensive. And secondly, like, it's public transportation. Like, people should have access to that.
The worst thing about them ending the Fairless Square is that I honestly stopped coming down here more. Like that, I don't think people. A lot of things have happened that have ruined the business downtown. So this is what we should say for the show. Like a lot of stuff has been ruined down here, but a lot of it started with that. I remember a lot of people mentioning that. It's like having easy access down here without having to drive, hop on a free train, get in and out, just hop around. Makes you want to come down here and hang out and spend money or whatever. It's like ever since they ended it, it became a chore to became downtown.
Yeah.
And that hurt a lot of people. Like a lot of people. Even going to Blazer games, people are like, I don't know, man. I used to be able to ride the train in the game. I'm not driving.
Yeah.
They're doing all that. So they wouldn't even do that even. Like what sucks is then they wouldn't go to like, there'd be businesses on the way they would go, like pre-phone.
Yeah, I used to like park over here and ride over there or something. To get
Probably hit a bar on the way or two.
Was it free? The public transit was free then?
It was free from the Lloyd Center all the way up to Civic Stadium.
Nice.
You can just go all the way
What
through.
did it
Everything's
take?
free. Even the buses were free. So you can go anywhere up and down downtown for free.
the term Fairless Square?
No.
That was so awesome. No, I miss Fairless.
Yeah.
God, that was the shit. There was nothing like that. They don't do that anywhere, dude. Anywhere. That was so cool. You know what? We're lucky to have it while we did. I'll take that. No one's gonna believe us though. Kids are gonna be like, what? Are you serious?
Not only that, but they give you a $250 ticket if you
what?
get on for 1 stop.
For all the free rides I got, and for all the times I've stolen rides, like legitimately knowing that I was stealing a Max ride, I kind of figured $250 is a fair payoff. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, that balances it out for all the stuff I actually have done.
That's a good perspective.
But I was being so honest at the time. I was like becoming a man. You know, so I was like discouraging.
Your first ticket.
Yeah, like I was like finally doing it right.
I'm actually adulting now.
I was doing it right, and that's when I got busted. You know.
I got my first one in Germany for riding the train without a ticket.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was with someone who kind of spoke to
well,
me,
not Germany, but
just give us cash right now.
I was in Italy. They actually took our group to the police station. They took our passports and was like trying to get a bunch of money out of us in Italy. Yeah.
Are we on right now?
Yeah, we're live.
All right, we're.
Nice.
We didn't even introduce ourselves. What's going on? Well, for anyone that's paying attention, I'm DQ Scott.
Yeah, I'm Christy Carlo. Thanks for joining.
And we're just here doing a test run of a new series we want to do. That's more or less giving you a tour and a look onto Portland. So we're gonna go around Portland and talk about Portland.
Yeah.
See how things go.
We're gonna
Feel free to critique us the way you normally do.
Open to feedback. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll look over the Facebook chat on Halospace Media. Just watch you guys' comments and answer any questions you got.
Yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. I think I have to do this because of the microphone. So, hi, I'm Philip Sitbon, and I know I'm Halospace Media, and we're here to talk about how things have been going and what we see out here.
Yeah, so Philip, we're hoping that you'll give us a good tour around the city. You've been spending a lot of time downtown with the protesters, so we were hoping to get your perspective as we move along the city tonight. All right. Well, we're starting here at Pioneer Square. This was actually the end of the first rally that I attended back in June. We probably had about 5,000 people at that protest. We ended here. The organizers at that time had megaphones and we could barely hear them. So I took a little bit of a perspective of trying to do what I could to film or to fill that space, and so I rallied together a group of people and we supported the sound crew for Rose City Justice for about 1 month, and then I actually met Phil through some live streaming. And I took a little bit of a step back the last few weeks to a month. I have a small business actually just a few blocks down, So I had to get back to work, couldn't be around large crowds, and also provide massage therapy. It was a bit of a conflict of interest, but you know, I do work down here. I have a small business, so I have felt very attached to, even though I haven't been directly involved, I see what's going on. I drive by the Justice Center multiple times a week, usually in the evening. So I'm hoping to get a little more perspective today about what's been going on. So thanks for giving us a tour, Phil. Yeah.
This is Christy's card. By the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Quick look around the square. So one thing I noticed is that when I'm talking from back here, it's got pretty good isolation. So it's hard to like pan around when somebody's talking with this. That's okay though.
You did a nice job with the new little art installation.
So yeah, this is the polka dot square
Yeah.
art installation. We'll go down this way and get a shot of the banner up there.
Yeah, we're planning on meeting up the Apple store, which has some really beautiful murals around that area. Most of the businesses down here have been shut down due to COVID and some other things going on, but it does seem like it has given the opportunity for smaller business to kind of take a lead, because it is most of the larger businesses like Apple, and then I think there's some other kind of ritzy stores across the street that have been shut down, but yeah, they've covered the city in some really beautiful art. So
You know, it's interesting. As we look out, I've noticed one very interesting dynamic, and this relates to what you just said too. You can't help but to notice how there's still obviously a lot of homeless people that are still about and still struggling. I mean, I'm glad a lot of them have masks. A lot of me is wondering, especially where the resources are coming from. I'm gonna take a guess. So even like the smaller businesses, like some of these carts and some of the other people that are sitting around doing stuff, probably still have a lot to do with actually those people even still surviving in a way. Because a lot of the big businesses being gone out, a lot of people wouldn't go through, cuts off a lot of panhandling. Probably a lot of food being bought, which probably in some cases in a sad way relates to food waste, which is probably what's another food source some people probably rely on. So it's kind of interesting to see, even like in a sad way of a trickle down kind of way, you know. It's like that movie, The Platform. In an almost literal way, you know, it's just like, you know, people kind of have to feed off what's left of society.
Yeah.
But even if society's not moving, I can see how a lot of these people here would still struggle without that, you know?
it's like an ecosystem within any environment.
Yeah.
When one part of it is disrupted, how there's a chain effect.
Yeah.
You know, you see that in nature, and even in cities, humans, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's cool that even like some of the shops, even some of the food carts and that stuff exist. I think it impacts, you know, the city in more ways than one. Even just moving the economy. That's even little aspects of the community that make it like worthwhile for them to do that.
I reckon a lot of people are ordering delivery from these kinds of places too. You know, and it keeps.
I've been doing that.
Things going. Me too.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that. You know.
My favorite Euro food cart is over there. So,
you know what? You gotta make it count now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like, Taco Bell's cool at some point in time, maybe if you're drunk or something like that. But you know what, dude? Like, I value my life a lot more now. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad if you eat Taco Bell, but if I'm getting a taco, I'm getting me a damn taco.
Yes.
You know, I'm
I've
just
got a
saying.
newfound
I'm gonna
appreciation
support my
for
homie that makes a little
7-Eleven.
taco. Yeah.
I've been eating at the eating from the 7-Eleven next to my place a lot. And it's funny though, because there's this houseless guy who lives outside, and he was complaining recently that they started like sabotaging the garbage, you know, like putting coffee grounds and everything. And stuff. But he still gets a pretty good haul from it. Like they now individually wrap the donuts among other things.
You know, it'd be super gangster is to take those coffee grounds and then like start using it for like mulch for compost and like make a garden out of it and grow food.
Well, 7-Eleven should
like,
be
but right in front of the 7-Eleven.
Should be composting, right?
Yeah.
They got a lot of compostable stuff.
You know, that's something I thought about as well, which I hope maybe is something we could tackle with some of the people we talk to, feature some businesses, is allocating food waste. Contrary to popular belief, you can donate food after it's been cooked. A lot of places say like after catering events or something, they're like, no, you can't give the food to the homeless, it's a health risk, it's illegal. That's a total lie, dude. total lie. They just don't want to deal with it. There are some implications for the company, like insurance or something, but it's all BS. But I imagine but there's certain services in certain ways. I know people have figured it out before, but there's ways to figure out how to get extra food waste that is left over from restaurants or catering business or anything else to like give the homeless and things.
Food is,
especially right now.
I feel like I've worked at different homeless shelters. Food has never been the big issue.
Yeah.
It's usually the bigger stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's stable housing and mental health treatment, you know,
totally.
like that's where we should allocate time, you know? Because like I generally had access to a lot of different foods, you know. It was really fun. I learned how to cook really well during those experiences.
Yeah.
I got to cook for up to like 36 plus homeless people living in a space. This was right after college. But do you guys have any cool memories or thoughts about this space that we're in? This is a
Gathered, and a couple of people like threw like glass bottles, and then someone, people were setting off a couple fireworks, and then of course PPB rolls up on their horses this time.
Oh, real horses, huh?
And they started, so they provoked the crowd, started, I don't know what they did first. I think they started attacking people with their nightsticks or something like that, and then, kind of more destruction broke out. All the windows on this Starbucks here got busted out, and ever since then they've been holding like events here. That was after that they started blocking off like a few blocks around and stopping people to like pat them down and check for fireworks and stuff. And it was a really interesting experience.
Stranger to protesting, it sounds like.
No, this has been a center for a lot of different movements, a lot of different things, you know. This has always been just such a hub for Portland. It's funny because I don't know, it feels smaller now, but I know how many big parts of my life happen here. And I feel like I've still seen like the whole city here at some point. You know, it still has that feel. Even when the tree was here and all this other events, you know, like during Christmas time, feast time, the Dave Chappelle random rally show that he did here that one time.
Oh, I remember
all the other
that.
random events that kind of like popped up here.
I mean, I was on a first date with someone, and the Dalai Lama just happened to be here.
Yeah. Like this place, it's like crazy stuff happens. It's such an interesting place. It's like a magnetic.
It just felt like such like a big city when I first moved here too.
It's a central hub for everyone. Like I think this is one of the few places in Portland that everyone kind of goes to. Like no matter what you're into, what you do, I think everyone has found themselves here no matter what for certain things.
If you're even visiting Portland, I feel like it's local and
punk rockers, skaters,
people.
hippies. You definitely used to have, I will say from back in the day, used to have more of like a festival vibe, which I remember. Some people probably can attest to what I'm talking about.
Well,
mainly just a lot of jump circles, a lot of crazy dancing over there. Not even like kind of jump circles dancing, but then there's like just the crazy wild wacky Portland people dancing on the side. A lot of people like doing like hack and sack, just whatever. A lot of musicians hanging out.
Right?
Yeah, people just throwing stuff. It was just kind of like almost like an improvised local market of sorts, you know, like unofficially. I don't know, it was like a hot phase of that. And then maybe after a while some more corporate stuff started happening. But it's always been a good place for people to meet up for like events or other things, you know. I'm so glad it still has that feel. It feels neutral. That's what I wanted to say. I feel like when I come here, everything's just as neutral.
Which is funny because this is privately owned land, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel safe here. I feel like anyone can come here, like any group, and still kind of feel welcome. It's one of the few places I feel in Portland that like I've had experiences like that at least, you know.
I always thought it'd be a good place for an occupation.
I don't know. You've had some good stories, that's for sure. I've seen some wild stuff here, just hanging out, having lunch. But I've had great conversations with strangers here, just hanging out. Like you sit on those steps after a while, somebody's gonna come talk to you. Chances are, these probably gonna be one of the better conversations you ever had. They might smell a little bit.
No, I get that. You know, and
but they're like,
I started out at PSU, and even though when I first moved here, I'd walk around the city all day, every day. But I had those conversations at PSU where it'd be like, you know, some guy who lives on the street and has all kinds of stories about whatever, trading cigarettes for stories, pretty much.
That's kind of the fate.
All right, let's check out these the tunnels.
Yeah. A little personal advice from me in Portland. If you're gonna walk around down here with cigarettes, walk around with rollies.
Oh yeah.
That is totally fair. That is fair to get you into everything. You get a lot of. Stretch that. This is actually interesting stuff. I filmed as a matter of fact, I just read an article yesterday.
Oh.
We're going
A lot
mobile.
of same actors might have.
Polka Dot Courthouse Square. Looks like they're coming to take the piano.
It's like on like 10 seasons. I worked on it like 6
Oh
seasons.
no! Oh, they probably move it at night. Huh? Oh, that piano?
Oh, yeah.
I think they probably move it at night. Pretty cool. All right, so we're headed over to the Apple store. This was damaged. The windows were actually damaged. One of the first nights of protesting after the death of George Floyd. After that night, though, the community boarded up the downtown where some of the damage happened with plywood, and artists came in and painted up the plywood. Really, there's some really beautiful artwork that we wanted to show you today. So we're headed that direction. We're going to be passing the Shanghai tunnels here. Cute. I don't know if you want to like explain a little bit of that. I had no idea that these were the doors to the Shanghai tunnel.
I mean, you kind of just ratted me
But
out.
now,
That's all right.
but now,
You know what? I'm sure-
like it looks like doors.
I'm sure the statute of limitations
You know?
needs to
It
be
makes
exempt
sense.
from this. No, it's all good. My mom already knows I do stupid stuff anyways. So,
Hey, it was a long time ago, right?
But for many
You would
of
never
you-
do it now.
yeah, many of you who've been around may know that these are the old entrances to the Shanghai tunnels. There's a door here now, it shuts it off. But some of you may remember back in the day, this was just a great, just a gate, you know, a metal gate. And you can just, if you're skinny enough, you could just slide on through there and gain access underneath the city and to many other various parts underground throughout the city. Stretching almost down the first side, you used to be able to go through there and just hang out. You'd see people in there, whatever.
I actually
Not
never
as
been
scary
down
as
there.
it sounds, but what's that?
Never been down there.
Oh yeah, well you don't want to go down there. Not down that one at least.
Okay.
But there's still some places where you can still check it out. A lot of businesses and bars still have access to them. For example, like by Old Town Pizza, they have that through the tours, but some of those other bars